Welcome to Essendon. Essendon commenced as an area for free settlers in 1836 for sheep grazing. Essendon was named after a village in Essendon in the Hertfordshire in the UK. In 1862, Essendon was proclaimed a borough, and by 1882 it was included in the borough of Flemington and Kensington. Today, Essendon forms a part of the borough of the municipality of Moonee Valley. So today we're here to explore some of the architecture in Essendon. So come along with us and see what we can find.
Good morning, Peter here. I am at the Essendon railway station. It's quite an old line here in Essendon. The original station was built in 1860. It was a private operated line, but it only existed for about 4 years. I think they suffered from a lack of funds, so that's not fun. Later on, the Victorian government actually purchased the line, and it's been maintained operating since that time of around 1868. Now, it also has some importance in that in 1919, it became the first electrified train in Australia, and that line actually ran from Sandringham to Essendon. There we go, a little bit of trivia for you. See you later. Welcome to Earl Bray Hall. As you can see, just a minor property within my vast estate. Built in 1890, the property, or this particular home of mine, has 27 rooms. Now, you can also see there are a number of Roman columns. They're Corinthian, and there are lots of them, and they're very solid, so the place is going to be standing for some time to come. Now, as it works out, the Anglicans just needed it for their girls' school, and in 1919, it was acquired and converted.
Just stopping by St. Columba's Convent. As you can see, there's quite a few buildings, but you can see the main building behind me. That was built around circa 1897. It's a very fine example of pastoral era wealth. It's beautiful. We've actually just stopped for a coffee break because Peter was actually quite thirsty. So we've stopped at a little cafe called Benny and Me, and we've purchased a croissant and a couple of cafe lattes. So yeah, we're going to get tucked into them. Nice.
We are now heading to Windy Hill. Now, you'll know what that's all about. The home ground of the Dons.
We're at the Essendon Reserve. 10-acre area was allotted for a reserve for recreational purpose. And it wasn't until 1887 that the Essendon Cricket Club was formed and hence held here. And if you were part of the Essendon Football League, you played here in 1922. So there would have been some great games played by Essendon here in their home ground.
The club made its home on the ground that became known as Windy Hill. And because of Windy Hill's proximity to Essendon Aerodrome, the team later adopted the nickname, the Bombers.
The reserve occupies an entire of 10 acres. It wasn't until 1884 that it was put to use as a recreational area. By 1872, the Essendon Cricket Club had formed and were playing on this turf as well. And then it wasn't until 1922 that Essendon was playing some games here. Behind me you can see Austin's Tea Room, originally owned by Mrs. E. Brown. She ran it as a bookstore from 1890. And then by 1919 to 1924, she decided to run it as a confectionery store. And pretty much from then on, it was still a confectionery store well into the 50s. Today, it runs as an Austin Tea House, a good place for a cuppa. Well, I've come to the end of my walk. Essendon surely has a few lovely old buildings, well worth walking around and having a look. So if you're interested, pop into the Historical Society Museum in Moonee Ponds, pick up yourself the brochure of Essendon Heritage Walk, take a walk, stretch your legs and take a little look inside our history. In the meantime, have a look at this lovely avenue of trees as we say goodbye and see you on the next adventure. Bye folks.